vortex. It is so like me to sit in my car and read the Psalms instead of doing stand-up comedy with all of my friends. I'm just so depressed. I'm so depressed, but it's okay because David reminds me that that's just a regular ass human experience, okay? This is Psalm 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall be praised in the Lord. Let the gentle hear and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and he delivered me from all my sojourning. Is that how you say that word? Just keep going. Come to him and be enlightened, and your face shall never be ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him from all his afflictions. The angel of the Lord shall encamp around those who fear him, and he will deliver them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who hopes in him. Fear the Lord, you his saints, for there is no want for those who fear him. Rich men turned poor and went hungry, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life, who loves to see good days? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Shun evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open to their supplications. The Lord's face is against those who do evil, so as to destroy their remembrance from the earth. The righteous cried, and the Lord heard them, and he delivered them from all their afflictions. The Lord is near those who are brokenhearted, and he will save the humble in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but he will deliver them from them all. The Lord shall guard all their bones, not one of them shall be broken. The death of sinners is evil, and those who hate the righteous shall go wrong. The Lord will redeem the souls of his servants, and all who hope in him shall not go wrong. Now, I have spoken about how every human emotion is in these Psalms. And so, if you're talking to a person that's mentally ill, and you're trying to convince them that God understands their experience, because I think it's really, really hard for people to accept certain states of mind. It's really hard for people to accept the fact that they're sad and they get angry about things. Like, I will say, it is like a constant back and forth for me. Like, I am conflicted because I am afflicted. And so reading here, many are the afflictions of the righteous, it's like, that's such a relief to read that, because it's like I feel so guilty because I'm not happy, you know? Because, like, Christians are supposed to be joyous. You know, like Nietzsche said that Christians aren't joyous. So, if Nietzsche said that, that's probably a pretty accurate speculation. And that's something that I've always noticed, too, is that, you know, Christians just seem to be very judgy, you know? They're very quick to, like, call somebody out for their bullshit, you know? And I hate that I'm like that in any kind of way. Like, I want to snuff that part of me out. But at the same time, like, that's what inspires a lot of this comedy. You know, this darkness that's inside of me. So it's better that I just accept it, and then I can actually do something with it, and I can see the light in that darkness, rather than trying to pretend that that darkness isn't there, trying to cover it up, trying to, you know, beat myself up, guilt myself into, having an experience that I don't have, and I feel like that's a genuine struggle that so many people have. Just accepting the fact that they're uncomfortable, But here in the Psalms, it's like, it's cool that you feel this way because God's got you. As long as you fear him, he's got you. And by fear, I think that a lot of people misconstrue that. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous myself. But it's kind of like being afraid of your father. Let's pretend that we live in a good world and fathers exist always. Okay, so in a perfect world, in a utopian land, all the fathers are really good. And patriarchy makes sense, okay? People don't think it's a terrible thing that needs to be destroyed. Because men actually do what they're supposed to do. Well, you shouldn't be afraid of your father because you're worried that he's going to punish you. You should be afraid of disappointing him because you want to live up to his vision for you. If he created you in his image, then you should want to be the best that you can be. I think that that's what that's all about. I think that people kind of twist it. And religious people totally fuck all this stuff up. They really do. Because they make it about fear-mongering, and they make it about judging people, and they make it about money. Money, 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 money. So that tends to steer people away. That tends to push people in the opposite direction. But that's why I strongly suggest the Psalms, because if you read the Psalms, you'll understand that God understands. And he's not mad at you because you're depressed. So, I think that the guilt makes it so much worse, and it really, really drags it out. I think about that all the time. Like, how much time have I wasted feeling guilty over the stupidest shit? Whereas I could have just accepted whatever feeling I was feeling and then moved on. But because I had to beat myself up about it, it's like I just made it so much worse for myself. And that's why I was an alcoholic for so long, because alcohol allowed that part of me to be completely nil. But, the Lord is near those who are brokenhearted, and he will save the humble in spirit. If you want to do good, if you strive to be a good person, if you strive to be at peace, and you don't want to start conflict, and you don't want to be petty and dramatic and negative, it's the good versus evil, always and forever, Those two sides will always be warring against each other. And I do believe that in the end, good wins, because I wouldn't be doing stand-up if that weren't the truth. But, the devil's got to be a bitch. He has to. He has to. He's got to make this difficult for me. He has to punish me for doing God's will. And I think that's another misconception about Christianity, or about believing in God in general, is that your life is going to be easy. It's all smooth sailing once you get saved and get baptized or whatever. That's not true at all, dude. The devil is going to attack. But that's okay. God's got your back.